So good day to each and everyone. I am Christine and SOI and I will be discussing the aptitude test. So one of the main types of psychological tests together with the intelligence test, achievement test, personality test, and etc. is what we call aptitude test. So what is this aptitude test, by the way? So before that, let's have first our topic outline. So our topic outline, what is an aptitude test? The two types of aptitude testing, the development of aptitude tests, multiple aptitude test batteries, and under this is the differential aptitude tests or DOT, the general aptitude test battery or GATB, and the armed services vocational aptitude battery or the ASVAB. So what is an aptitude test? So aptitude test, it measures the capability for a relatively specific test or type of skill. Aptitude tests are in effect a narrow form of ability testing. So to simply define aptitude test, it is a test designed to determine a person's ability in a particular skill or field of knowledge. It is any type of assessment that evaluates the talent, ability, potential to perform a certain test with no prior knowledge and or training. Also, it often used to predict success in an occupation, training course, or educational endeavor. Let's say, for example, the seizure measures of musical talents. So a series of tests covering pitch, loudness, rhythm, time, timbre, and tonal memory can be used to identify children with potential talent in music. And the most common use of aptitude test is to determine college admissions. An example is the SATs or the Scholastic Assessment Test, which previously called the Scholastic Aptitude Test of the College Entrance Examination Board. In effect, colleges that require certain minimum scores on the SAT for admission are using the test to predict academic success. And there are two types of aptitude testing, the single aptitude test and the multiple aptitude test battery. The single aptitude test appraises only one ability, and multiple aptitude test battery will provide course in several distinctive ability areas. So the multiple aptitude test battery will be discussed later. Okay. For our next slide, the development of aptitude tests. So the aptitude test was developed behind intelligence test for two reasons. First is the statistical problem was that a new technique, factor analysis, was often needed to discern which aptitudes were primary and therefore distinct from each other. So these new techniques or factor analysis that conclude that there were specific factors of primary mental ability such as verbal comprehension, word fluency, number facility, spatial ability, associative memory, perceptual speed, and general listening, it was felt that intelligence tests are not useful as multitude aptitude test batteries in determining a person's intellectual strengths and weaknesses. And the second reason is the slow growth of aptitude batteries was the absence of a particular application for such refined instruments. So it wasn't until World War II that there was a pressing need to pick persons who were highly qualified for extremely challenging jobs and specific jobs. Pilots' jobs requirements, flight engineers and navigators were extremely precise and demanding. So a general estimate of intellectual ability, such as provided by the group intelligence test used in World War I, was not sufficient to choose good candidates for flight school. So, as I said, multiple aptitude test batteries will be discussed, and this type of aptitude testing is where the examinee is tested in several separate homogeneous aptitude areas. So typically, the development of the subtest is dictated by the findings of factor analysis. So we have the first aptitude test, which is the DAT or the differential aptitude test. So the DAT was first issued in 1947 to provide a basis for the educational and vocational guidance of students in grades 7 to 12. Examiners have found that the useful in the vocational counseling of young adults out of school and in selection of employees. Its fifth edition from the year 1992 The test has been periodically revised and stands as one of the most popular multiple aptitude test batteries of all time. And the DAT consists of 8 independent tests, which are verbal reasoning, numerical reasoning, abstract reasoning, perceptual speed and accuracy, mechanical reasoning, space relations, spelling, and language usage. So the figures in the slide is presenting the 8 independent tests and its examples. So this are what that consists of. And we also have the General Aptitude Test Battery, or the GATB. In the late 1930s, the U.S. Department of Labor developed aptitude tests to predict the job performance in 100 specific occupations. In the 1940s, the department hired a panel of experts in measurement and industrial organizational psychology to create a multiple aptitude test battery to assess the 100 occupations previously studied and many more. The outcome of this Herculean effort was the General Aptitude Test Battery, which widely acknowledged as the premier test battery for predicting job performance. The GATB was derived from a factor analysis of 59 tests administered to thousands of male trainees in vocational courses. The GATB is composed of 8 paper and pencil tests and 4 apparatus measures. So the entire battery can be administered in approximately 2.5 hours and is appropriate for high school seniors and adults. The 12 tests yield a total of 9 factor scores, and the 9 factor scores are specifically combined nicely into 3 general factors, which are cognitive, perceptual, and psychomotor. Note that different jobs require various contributions of the cognitive, perceptual, and psychomotor aptitude. So according to the figure na nasa gilid, it is the specific and the general factors on the GATB, wherein there are larger and general categories which composed of the specific factors. And lastly, we have the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, or the ASVAB. This instrument is used by the armed services to screen potential recruits and to assign personnel to different jobs and training programs. The ASVAB is also available in a computerized version that is rapidly supplanting the original paper and pencil test. The current version consists of 9 subtests, 4 of which produce the Armed Forces Qualification Test, or the AFQT. Decisions about ASVAB examinees are typically based on composite scores and not subtest scores. For example, an electronics composite is derived from combining arithmetic reasoning, mathematics knowledge, electronics information, and general science. And persons scoring well on this composite might be assigned to electronics-related positions. I think that's all for the aptitude test. Thank you very much and have a good day to each and everyone.